My fellow Barbadians, as we have entered into this new year of 2022, we do so as a new Barbados, the world's youngest and most recent republic. When we anticipated that the first steps in the process in becoming a republic would be to prepare the framework or constitution that would govern our affairs as a republic, we find ourselves in a somewhat cart before the horse situation. Added to this, and in my view, an unwise and not so prudent decision was made to call a general election by an administration that already possessed an unprecedented majority and control in our parliament. Many have been somewhat puzzled as to why this action would have been taken at such a time as this, during the midst of a global pandemic, where mass gatherings of all kinds are not being encouraged, and now with the emergence of a new variant, Omicron, which is considered to be more contagious than any before it, but, as we have been told, with dramatically milder symptoms itself, it has arrived at our shores. This makes gatherings of all kinds a far more risky matter. All recognize that it is a government's prerogative to call a general election at any time that it wishes. However, given the current national state of affairs relevant to this pandemic, one has to ask if this decision, made at this time, was a wise and prudent action of what has been considered a responsible and caring government. It is no secret that during the throne speech of the then Governor General on September the 15th, 2020, both the perspectives and intentions of this administration were revealed. Subsequent to the throne speech, and presented during the period of transition to a republic in 2021, the Charter of Barbados, intended to establish the basis upon which we as a new republic would be seeking to rewrite our national constitution, was presented. If this charter is intended to be the basis or foundation for the more permanent development of the new constitution, should not a broader constituent of the people of Barbados have been involved in its formulation, and not just a select handful of persons who, for all intents and purposes, do not necessarily represent the citizenry of our country? Much of what has been included within the Charter has become a matter of concern for many of our countrymen, including those within the faith-based community. If we are serious about our new republic, then it is of necessity that it cannot be business as usual. Political practices must change. Threats of victimization must be eradicated. Alternative views must be accommodated without any thought of negative ramifications. There is no silly season in our new republic when things are said which persons deem or perceive to be false or misinformation. One only need to provide the legitimate reasons or responses to render such things null and void. The only part of what may be considered as the silly season lies in the sudden and convenient offers of all kinds of fabulous perks and provisions for the people, things which could have been engaged at some point prior to the announcement of the general election. It is clearly evident that this pandemic has resulted in one of the greatest levels of discomfort any country has ever faced, given the impact upon economies and the social fabric of nations. But it has also revealed one of the greatest levels of distrust ever witnessed globally of governments and politicians and authorities, reaching even into the scientific and medical profession. Not because of false information or misinformation, which has become the catchphrase of almost every governmental official worldwide, but because of the deliberate and aggressive actions taken against anyone who simply does not comply with their narrative. There is the intent of silencing every dissenting voice, even in the presence of overwhelming scientific and medical evidence. We must leave behind us all of the grave clothes of our colonial past, including, but not limited to, our political practices. We must not do politics or electioneering as we used to. Gone are the days of sardine and biscuits and corned beef politics. Our sovereign vote is worth significantly more than that. We cannot and we must not trade our national soul for a bowl of pottage. Roads, electricity, water, housing, these are the job of any caring government and must not be rewarded simply because they accomplish these things. That is the job of any government. Every mother and father knows that no reward is sought, or should be sought for that matter, for fulfilling the role of parents. That is their responsibility. Likewise, completing these elements of development should never be done by a government in order to acquire the vote of any citizen. Even during the pandemic, it is any government's responsibility and job to keep its people safe. There is no reward for doing that. It is your responsibility. This is a new year, a new era, a new republic, in which the democratic involvement of our citizens must be more than vain rhetoric. National brilliance does not reside only within the bosom of any political party in Barbados. National brilliance lies within the heart of every Barbadian citizen. Involvement in the political process of our country by all and sundry must be encouraged. Independent candidates must never, ever again be made to feel unwanted or incapable of contributing to the development of our country. A new wind is blowing across the landscape of our island and is bringing with it a fresh new approach to how business is done in this country. We must endeavor to stamp out corruption at all levels, not allowing any excuses for any such practices that do nothing but to compromise our national integrity and put us further into despair on the International Index of Corrupt Societies. There must be full transparency at all levels of governance and for all public officials. We must demand full disclosure of all assets of those offering themselves to serve this country in public life before they are accepted to do so, and not after. We need to know where their loyalty will lie. We must ensure that all government projects that require tender are open to a fair, transparent, and equitable process for all Barbadians. Finally, we must remain a country committed to the foundational belief that it is God, not a creator, not a brilliant leader, not even a successful government, who has blessed our country with the ability to punch above its weight. A belief system that has permitted this small island state to be elevated to significant international recognition. Our national anthem accurately and fully encapsulates this fact. The Lord has been the people's guide for past 300 years. With him still on the people's side, we have no doubts or fears. Upward and onward we shall go, inspired, exulting, free, and greater will our nation grow in strength and unity. The source of our success does not lay solely in the skill and brilliance of any political leader or administration. The source of our success as a nation has always been vested and must always be vested in our faith in God, the persuasion of the vast majority of our citizens, and in the resourcefulness of our people. We must not, we cannot embrace any practices or global philosophies of a progressive liberal world that put the foundation and fabric of our great nation under threat. To do so would be to our collective peril and result in the withdrawal of God's covering, and that with devastating effect on every level of our society. We need his favor in this global world in which we live if we are to navigate the diabolical and dangerous waters that lay ahead of us. To this end, this election must be considered to be one of the most critical in the history of our great country. I therefore urge every Barbadian to get out and vote for the soul of this country. Much more than we can see is at stake. It is your right and your privilege to do so without any threat or intimidation. As such, as the candidate for St. George North for the Alliance Party for Progress I am offering myself to represent you vigorously and fearlessly in our Parliament, and I commit myself to take your concerns to its hallowed halls. Not my ideas foisted upon you, but your concerns shared with me via all mediums available, even if not in person, given the current pandemic environment. And nationally, I'm asking you for your support for the candidates of the Alliance Party for Progress by casting your vote for us. I wish to thank you for taking these few moments with me and allowing me to share these thoughts with you. May God bless you, and may God bless our great nation, Barbados.